Hi everyone, and welcome to this demonstration. Today we're going to walk through the process of installing ServiceNow Kubernetes Visibility Agent on OpenShift platform. The goal is to securely send valuable Kubernetes and OpenShift resource information from the clusters into the ServiceNow. That gives us a centralized view for all the infrastructure. So let's dive into the process of installing this agent. So let's quickly outline what we'll be covering. First, we'll ensure we have the necessary prerequisites in place. Then we'll generate the required credentials, which is required for this agent. And next, we'll deploy the Kubernetes Visibility Agent on the cluster. And finally, we'll verify if the data is flowing into ServiceNow. So our first step is to ensure we have the plugin installed. So when you go to the plugins page in ServiceNow, and search for Kubernetes Visibility Agent, you can see the details about this plugin. And good thing about this plugins page is here you can see a lot of good resources about this agent. So we have all these links to um, any configurations or also support files required for installing this agent. So, and one more, if you see this KB article, this gives us resources to download the agent file. So we'll be covering about that agent file in next steps. So once you install this agent plugin, you'll be seeing this module available. If you type in CNO, previously this Kubernetes Visibility Agent is called CNO, Cloud Native Operations. Now it's renamed to Kubernetes Visibility Agent. So we have this home page module here. Let's go for it. You can see the informer pods information here. So we'll see once we install the agent, you can see the details getting populated here. So the next prerequisite is we need a service account or a user account created in ServiceNow. So it's a normal, I mean, you can go to the sys user table and create a new user account. We'll be giving some name for this user account and we'll assign discovery admin role. So discovery admin role is this is mandatory for and we'll be using this user account for agent to communicate from the clusters to the ServiceNow instance. So this discovery admin role is very important. Now let's go to my terminal here. So here you can see I downloaded the required agent files from the knowledge article just mentioned, just I showed you before. So once you unzip this informer Kubernetes YAML zip file, we'll see the required files. So if I go to this, you can see we have this PDF document and the informer YAML file. So let's see the contents of this YAML file first, and we'll dive into discussing how to configure this YAML file. So this is pretty straightforward file here. As you can see, most of the information is already populated. Or this file consists of all the required details to deploy this informer or Kubernetes agent, which runs as a pod on the Kubernetes cluster. So we'll look at that later. But let's go through these contents here. As you can see, we need to change or update some of the details which is mentioned here. As mentioned in this comments here, we have to replace the namespace with namespace where we want this agent to be running. So namespace is just a project or a collection of all the required resources for the application. We have to update the instance name. That is, this instance name is the name of the ServiceNow instance. The cluster name, if you want to give the cluster name to populate in ServiceNow CMDB, you can give the cluster name here. And there is an environment variable called accept EULA, so we have to replace it with Y um, in order to agree for some of the terms and conditions. So once we update it, we should be able to run this agent. So I already logged into the cluster. So let me go back to the cluster here. So in this OpenShift cluster, I created a new project called ServiceNow Informer. So this is where I'll be um, deploying the application agent pod or Informer pod. So let's go back to the terminal. Before we install the agent file, which runs as Informer pod, we had to create a secret resource which holds information about ServiceNow user account which you created in the previous step. So this is the namespace resource. So we have to specify which namespace, the exact namespace where we are going to deploy the agent. So the secret resource lies in that namespace. Now that we have all the required details, now let's install the agent. So for this, I'm going to use this command called ocapply -f, and I have to specify the YAML file, which is configured before. So once you give that, it gives the details about the deployment record which got created. Now let's go back to the cluster. So here you can see deployment got created and a pod is getting created with a container in it. So you can see the Informer pod getting created. So let's wait till this is up and running. And then we can go back to ServiceNow instance to check if this information is sent to the ServiceNow instance. So, yeah. Back to the instance and let's check if the agent is able to communicate back to ServiceNow. So here you can see when I went to this Kubernetes Informers module, you can see the Informer information got populated here. If I open this record information here, so you can see the name of the Informer, the cluster, and the Kubernetes pod name as well. So let's go back to the Kubernetes components table. Let's see if the information got populated here. So as you can see, we have 42 entries. So all this information came from Kubernetes cluster. So the agent is sending all the information back to ServiceNow. So now let's open Informer pod if you have anything. So it's like this is one of the, yeah, this is the Kubernetes pod data. So here, good thing about Kubernetes Visibility Agent is it using this agent, we can also get all the relationships created. Like as you can see, it created a relationship to replica set, the node where this pod is running, the cluster, and also the namespace. And also in the downstream, you can see the container and the image information as well. Also, you're able to capture all the tags from the present on the pod. So this information can be used when we use tag-based service mapping. So we'll cover the tag-based service mappings in the next future videos. So yep, this is it for the demonstration. As you can see, it's pretty simple to deploy or use the Kubernetes Visibility Agent to send the information from the cluster into the ServiceNow instance. There are various other Informer parameters which you can use. Or details about these parameters can be found in the knowledge articles which I shared at the beginning. Also, maybe we can have a separate video to discuss how can we use this, configure these parameters to get or to restrict the data or to get more information from the agent. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.